going on, guys? TheAireaidLord's here. Welcome back to another Walking Dead vlog for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. This one's going to be doing kind of my thoughts on a 100 episode look back for The Walking Dead. This was a video that they uploaded recently. I'll see if I can get it up here. I'll open YouTube real quick for you guys. So this was on AMC's page. And let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is. So this is The Walking Dead, 100 episodes, our favorite memories from the first 99. It's been a long trip. Thanks for coming along for the ride. The Walking Dead celebrates its 100th episode with the Season 8 premiere October 22nd. At 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central. So this basically goes in order. This basically goes in order from each episode. And it doesn't give you every episode. It condenses the first 7 seasons into one video. A 4-minute long video of major characters, major events. It kind of skips around. It doesn't even really show Terminus, I noticed. It doesn't show Terminus at all. The only time it shows Terminus is the signs of them going to Terminus. It obviously shows the governor. It kind of skips the governor's rise and fall. It skips right to when he threatens Herschel with the sword. Then we jump right into Lizzie and Mika. We see Father Gabriel in his church. We see Daryl and Beth's relationship. We see a brief scene of the Marauders attacking Rick. Again, some of these scenes are out of sequence. We don't see the police, but we see the aftermath of what they did to Beth. There is Terminus right there. Oh, actually, you know what? I am wrong. There is Terminus. I didn't even notice that. There is Terminus. That was a quick montage there. I guess they do these montages so quick, and it's out of order. Because you see the scene right here where he's talking to Gabriel, and then they go back in time, and then they're back to here before Terminus, then they're after Terminus, so it's kind of like just skipping around. And then they're on the road, going to Alexandria. They skip through this a lot. Like, the whole Walker conflict, they kind of glaze over that. Also, Rick, like, how he kind of changed with his mentality with Alexandria, like them getting used to the world. They kind of just jump right into the conflict, and then we have Jesus. They jump into the world getting a lot bigger. They show Maggie's baby. They show some new relationships. And then Negan comes in, obviously. They jump to this pretty quickly. They show, them killing some of the saviors, like Carol burning them, and then Negan's pissed off. And then they show the bat land on, they don't actually show it, but they show who the bat lands on and them dying. And then you see a bit of Negan's leadership. Some of the scenes we've seen from Season 7. Daryl's new crossbow. Negan's subjugating them, and then this is Rick telling them to rise up and fight. And then some scenes that we saw. This is all from the finale, mainly. And then we have The Walking Dead 100. Thank you, fans. So this was just a montage, 4 minutes. You can watch it. I'll leave the link in the description. It was a good video to summarize the first 99 episodes, and that's interesting that they timed it so that episode 1. I don't know if they like panned that out, because I know the first season only had 6 episodes, the second season only had 13, and then seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all had 16 episodes at varying lengths. Some episodes have more content than others. Just based on what that episode has to offer. Like episode 4 of... actually, no, that was the 2... Because I know episode 4 of season 5 was just a regular 60-minute episode. But episode 4 of season 6 and 7 were both 90-minute episodes for different reasons. For season 6, it wanted to show Morgan's backstory of how he became, all pacifist. And then for season 7, we have Negan raiding the place and subjugating Rick. So they wanted to expand that and show his torture. So, good video. It's a good way to get us hyped. I'm obviously looking for more Walking Dead topics to discuss as the show progresses. I've offered some of my insight and predictions. There was a video I uploaded last week. I tried to upload these in between Game of Thrones because, as you guys know, I'm in the middle of my Game of Thrones reactions. There'll only be 3 more reactions for episodes 5, 6, and 7 because there's only 7 episodes in Season 7 of Game of Thrones. It's a shorter season, but Episode 7's 90 minutes, so it's going to be a much longer episode. So that'll almost count as having 8 episodes, I suppose. Episode 4 was absolutely insane. It was probably one of the most gratifying pieces of TV content out there. Obviously, I do prefer The Walking Dead more just because of the attachment I have to these characters in this world, but I definitely appreciate what Game of Thrones does. I think each show does certain things better. They're both drama television shows. Also, The Walking Dead has more restrictions than Game of Thrones because it's on cable television versus HBO. If they were both on HBO, they would be, you would be able to grade them on an even playing field because Walking Dead you'd be able to swear more. They'd be able, the show would be able to have more swearing. Maybe, some of the sex scenes that have been numbed, such as Michonne and Rick, Rosita and Abraham in the past. There's been like a few scenes where you've seen characters sleeping around, but you don't actually see it. Which, to be fair, I mean, there's not necessarily a full need, but we've seen the romantic buildup of that necessity in Game of Thrones. But again, we don't get necessarily the full-fledged version of that in Walking Dead because of restrictions. Obviously, the main thing that I've complained about in the past is that Negan saying the F word is completely censored from the show unless you go see the Blu-ray version. And I hate that because him saying fuck is his biggest trope. It's what makes Negan Negan, basically. In the comics, he's saying the word all the time. He talks about how he loves to say it, and it's just part of his character. And you see in the Season 6 finale Blu-ray a version of that, and they included that, and I'm happy about that. But it's stupid because when I'm seeing the episode for the first time, I'd like it to be authentic with that version. But all I get is a few goddams, a few shits. And, Jeffrey Dean Morgan still pulls it off and is still able to be comedic, and he still carries the Negan swagger regardless. So, I'm not too mad, but at the same time, I know they're nerfing the character and that there's not much that can be done. I think people had to expect this. Even when Negan was being announced because of the nature of the swearing, you would think that being AMC's biggest show, they'd have a bit of clout to say, hey, maybe allow us 1 or 2 fucks, because shows like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, they have a few F-bombs. They're bleeped so that you don't get the full syllables, but there are some in there. There's maybe like 1, 2, or 3. But again, it's this cable television bullshit censoring that is just so stupid. And the show's already rated TV MA with extreme gore and extreme violence. So at that point, I don't think anyone under the age of 15, 14 really should be watching the show unless they're able to handle mature content and their parents allowed it. So I don't know what the harm is in a few curse words. They already allow bitch, asshole, damn, shit. I mean, literally every swear word except maybe the C word and the F word. Those are like the only 2 words that are the no-go zone for The Walking Dead. And I just don't fucking understand why. So, okay. After going off on that bit of a tirade, tangent, Season 8 stuff, again, the show won't resume till October 22nd, but I think now is a cool opportunity for me to announce something for the channel, Walking Dead related, that I'll be going to the Walker Stalker Boston convention. I should probably make a separate video saying this now that I'm thinking about it. I probably will. I'll make like a separate announcement just on my channel if people want to meet me. This would be a cool opportunity for a fan meet and greet. I'll be there for my own fan meet and greet because I want to meet some of the actors that are there. Now, because this is Boston, it's not necessarily near their set in Georgia. So a lot of the actors that would normally go are not going. Like, my top 3 to see would be Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Andrew Lincoln, and Norman Reedus. But I don't think any of them are actually going. But other main actors are. So Lenny James, who plays Morgan, is. Carrie Payton, who plays Ezekiel. So there are a couple of actors who are playing the characters now that are there. But there are a couple that have been killed off, such as Michael Cutlett's Abraham's character. Trying to think of a few others. The T-Dog guy who plays him, he goes to a lot of conventions, so I'm not surprised that he's there. I know the kid, Chandler Riggs, is there. So there's a couple. The main one I want to see is Steve Ogg, who plays Simon, but also I'm a fan of Grand Theft Auto, so because I know he plays Trevor, that's going to be like a double whammy for me. So hopefully I get to go online and meet him. So it'll be cool. I'm going to try and film it. I don't know what the policy is with this Walker Stalker event for filming. I'm going to bring my camera and videotape and, maybe videotape meeting some of the actors and try to get some content, maybe for the channel for vlogs and stuff. Possibly. That would be cool. Maybe I get like a little tidbit from them saying something for the channel and I could put it in a montage for my, episode 100 season 8 reaction vlogs, which would be very cool. So I figured this was valid for me to go to because I've been wanting to go on the cruise. There's a Walker Stalker cruise that's in Mexico, but it's expensive and I don't necessarily have somebody else to go with. Some of my other friends who I would take, like Jack, who does the reaction vlogs with me, Jared, who's been in the reaction vlogs, Pete, who's been in the reaction vlogs. The problem is they're all working or doing something and they don't have the money. Like, there's various reasons why they can't go. I mean, it's a lot. It's a big commitment. You're on the sea for 4 or 5 days. You need to have a bunch of money. And so it's a big commitment. Because I love this show, I was willing to be committed to it. But looking now, it doesn't look like I can really make a deposit down on a room. So I wanted to do this event. I saw that it was coming up in August, and I was like, you know what? I don't have anything going on that weekend. Let me jump in and do this convention. And so I will be there Saturday. So that's the main day I'll be there. I won't be. I know it's Saturday, Sunday, but I'm only going to be there Saturday. So I will be there the full time. It runs from like 10 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. I forget where it is. It's some hotel in Boston. I'll have to get the specific details. But I'll probably be walking around. I'll wear some sort of Walking Dead attire. Either I'll wear the Negan jacket, like the one I had for the Season 7 premiere reaction, like the authentic leather jacket with the scarf, and the pants with the belt. Or I have Rick Grimes' suede leather jacket with the furs, so I have that as an authentic jacket as well. So I might try and wear that as well. So it's going to probably be a choice between them. I know because it's the summer, wearing the leather jacket might be tough. And I also kind of wanted to wear that for when I meet Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It would be more impactful for me to be like, hey, look, I got your authentic jacket and stuff. And so I'll probably save it for something like that. So maybe the suede leather jacket, just to do like a mini Rick cosplay. I don't have I don't have Rick's police belt and all of the different stuff. But I mean I think the jacket's pretty authentic to that. So I could do a mini cosplay because I also wear it as like an everyday jacket, but it could also work as a cosplay, which is nice. So it's a multi-purposed. A lot of the clothing has worked in that sense. So he could do. It was shit timing, obviously, for when the episode was on, but it just happened. So, obviously, you're not going to explain that to a bunch of people who are just all fired up and they're like, oh, we want to see a reaction. And if they don't get it in their full sense, they're going to dislike the video and send, hateful comments. Nothing new. I've had that for various videos in the past, so I'm used to it. People do it for the Walking Dead ones. People will complain about some of my co-hosts and whatnot, and just bitch about little things and whatnot. So, but obviously, a bulk of my fan base is for Walking Dead. I have full reactions for season 6 and 7 at this point, so I have more reactions for for Walking Dead than I do Game of Thrones. Been doing it longer, and the other thing for Game of Thrones is that there's only 2 seasons left. So once this season is done of Game of Thrones, there's only one left next summer. So I know they announced prequel series, but there's no information on that. Maybe I was hoping for maybe like the War of the Mad King War. That would be cool. Maybe some lore on the White Walkers. There's a possibility now that it's been greenlit. So but that's just from some future perspective. Again, I don't know if I would react to other television shows. There are 2 other television shows that I'm really into right now that I watched their first season last year, and they were pretty hard-hitting. Stranger Things, which I did a review of the first season of, and also Westworld, which I didn't talk about much. But I binge-watched both of those first seasons, which there was only 8 or 10 episodes, depending which show you're talking about. And again, they do a really solid job at having a solid first season. And these are shows that if they just ended on their first season and never had any more seasons, they would pretty much be like a great show. Each show concludes within their first season, basically. I mean, the events of that season are wrapped up. If you want to say the main conflict of season 1 is that monster for Stranger Things, the monster from the Upside Down, and finding Will, those 2 plot points are addressed. And there's obviously a bit of ambiguity in that there's a scene where Will kind of coughs up one of the monsters into the sink, and that's a teaser to season 2. But if you didn't include that scene, you could pretty much conclude season 1 and say everything wrapped up nicely in a bow. Same thing with Westworld. I don't want to spoil that, but I mean, holy shit, the ending to that show. Again, it's nuts. But again, you could end that and say that the show ends and that would be the end of the show. But both shows are getting season 2. I think, so Stranger Things is this Halloween. I don't know if Westworld's is this Halloween as well, because it aired in October. Of 2016 for season 1. I don't know if it'll do the same for this season. I have to check. But I could watch both of those shows as reactions. Now, both of them are different networks. One's HBO, one's Netflix. My HBO subscription is I only had it scheduled so it could last the episodes for Game of Thrones. And again, I probably won't renew it until next summer for the next season of Game of Thrones. And or when Westworld comes out. It would be helpful if both shows kind of were around the same time so I could get 2 for the price of 1, but who knows. And then with Stranger Things, I've never really done the whole Netflix kind of thing. And I believe the show releases all at once, doesn't it? Like all 8 episodes, it's just, here you go. They throw every single episode at you. I think. I'm not sure because I've never really watched a show like that where every episode is released all at once. I'm more used to the, Sunday night at 9 o'clock, watch the episode. Because that Walking Dead and Game of Thrones do that. Both shows, air at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. And I've just become, that's my religious TV hour, 9 o'clock Sunday night, whether it's Game of Thrones or Walking Dead. That's kind of the show I'm tuning into, laser focused, live. So I'll have to see how Stranger Things changes it up. And Westworld, since it's on HBO, I imagine it'll follow the Game of Thrones format. So, alright. I've kind of covered a lot of things in this vlog. This was kind of like a channel update, but there were other things that I needed to address. So, thank you guys for watching. Again, hopefully, maybe I'll see some of you at Walker Stalker Boston. The tickets right now, they're only like $45-50 for a single-day general admissions pass. You can buy more expensive tickets to get the full photo op fan opportunity, but, you know, they're very expensive. I'm seeing some of these tickets rack up in, like, the thousands of dollars, like almost close to $2,000 to get, like, a dinner with the cast and, like, pictures. And I guess, sure, that's cool, and I guess, you know, money buys you things, but, you know, unless I had money to throw around, I don't really think I would do that. Again, like, the cruise for 4 days to spend $1,000, you know, that's a cruise. You're in the ocean. You get a whole bunch of, food and treatment and drinks, and you're on a confined space with the actors, and you know, it's a cool atmosphere. So that is worth it. You know, that's a cool atmosphere. So but this is cool. Laid back, doesn't cost as much money, just to meet a few fans and some actors and have a fun time. So, all right, thank you. See you guys later. Peace out.